Our next guest, we'll have a bit more of that later, I'm told. We have one more video from the UWE, the WWE. WWE.
Yeah. WWE.
Our next guest is the owner and promoter of Extremely Serious Wrestling, a comedy wrestling show which happens every month here at the Pit Loft. Next show is November 9th. It's called The Forever Game. Please welcome our next guest, Mitch Fesh. Mitch, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good. So I'm curious, how did you sort of get the inspiration to start Extremely Serious Wrestling?
Okay. You guys ready for stupid stuff?
Yeah.
Vaguely sad stuff?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So I was in high school.
No.
I was too. Basically there was a show that already existed. It was very similar to Silk, over at UCB, and I was watching these videos in multimedia too during school, just watching comedians pretend to be wrestlers in New York City about a decade ago. It was one of those things where it's like, and nobody from Ohio here. Good. Ohio's bad, and I didn't believe. Oh my god.
I feel like I know a lot of people from Ohio because they came to New York and then never went back.
Exactly.
They were just like, I'm never going home.
And I was at a point in Ohio where I didn't believe it was possible to pretend to be a wrestler in a basement, So that's what I aspired to do.
Right.
And so about, what would it be, like 5 years later, I started doing that. I started doing shows at the UCB wrestling show.
Mm-hmm.
And it got very frustrating because nobody took it as seriously as I did. Which manifested itself in me kind of being a shadow booker. Kind of like people would be told what they were doing, and I'd take them aside and be like, all right, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're doing it. This is how we're going to convince the real booker to do what we need to do. We're going to tell him one thing, we're going to do something else.
And you decided it'd be simpler, perhaps. It'd be simpler, perhaps, if you started your own show and just became the booker.
Yes, I mean, that's the shortest version of that, yes. Basically, that show functions like, 3 pay-per-views a year, and I said, what if it was just pay-per-views every month? Nothing in between, no hosting bids, none of that, and so what if we just did a wrestling promotion, but none of us were wrestlers? And because I had built up what I think was some relatively goodwill at the other show, and just in life in general, enough people to make it happen, joined me on this journey. I took out an LLC, when finding venue, yeah.
That's serious stuff.
You're telling
That's
me.
Extremely serious stuff.
Extremely serious. Oh my god, it was such a bummer. Because our first venue was not here. Our first venue was a bar in Brooklyn, and when presenting to them the idea, we wanted to have untrained people beat each other up. It's like, well, here's this, so you will not be responsible for anything, like it would all go under, I don't know, my friend told me I should do that. I guess,
as I have some experience in law, I agree. That's
great.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, I guess it wasn't an Irish bar, because then that just would have...
No, it wasn't. And then through that and through, again, more goodwill, and in the space between that first show and this show, I started training in actual professional wrestling, and through that, met some real wrestlers, met some promoters, met some the good people at Powerbomb TV who, before we even started being a show, we struck up a deal that we'd be sending our sketch/wrestling show to them each show, and they would put it on their streaming service. And it took me now it's been like a year, it took me that long to realize, I'm not taking anything from them. Like the whole time I was like, they're going to be mad at me for X, Y, and Z. It's like, I'm literally just sending them files and they put them on the website, and it doesn't fucking matter.
Help someone who hasn't seen Extremely Serious Wrestling understand sort of what it's like. You're wearing a t-shirt of one of the characters now. The art make kid, Sean from Michaels, who is a man named Sean who really enjoys Michaels.
Well, he's the master of the art and craft of wrestling.
Yes.
So that's the show. What you're experiencing right, that stretched that to almost 2 hours when it's supposed to be 75 minutes, and that's the show. Basically, it's like the WWE, but longer. Take a celebrity death match, make it real people, and not celebrities, but original characters, oft parodies of real professional wrestlers, sometimes wholly original characters, and that same pun-based, fake combatic nature plays out. And again, as you probably picked up on, I take it very seriously. And one of the major tenets of that is a far too strong focus on continuity.
Sure, yes.
Everything that happens in the show fucking matters, dude. And there will be mirroring from things and be like, oh, you have to have been here 7 months ago to fully understand that. But to me, not just storytelling, but professional wrestling is about gradients, whether it's diversity in people, body sizes, but it's also of interest. And so we have our characters that are head-on parodies of real wrestlers, and we have our original characters, and there's jokes for people who used to watch wrestling, there's jokes for people who currently watch wrestling, and hopefully have cultivated an environment where people who've never seen wrestling before will still be engaged.
Sure. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. And I will say it's you're dedicated to continuity. I know, for example, now I'm not sure who this was, I don't know this person's name, but there was a character who was a podcaster, right?
Yeah.
And then he was going to become a character who was a father, and he specifically discussed what he did as a podcasting character in his transformation into the father character.
Had sex with a woman.
Well, yeah, that's important.
Yes. Well, that's a
Hypothetically, I don't know who that would be. I hear he's very handsome.
Sure. Clear to Leroy's
Not as handsome as the announcer,
as
but
the former tag team partner.
former tag team partner.
That is a perfect example where it's like, oh, we can just do a hard reset because no one cares. But that, again, these quotes, that phrase was something that was put on another show that I didn't appreciate as much. And I was like, well, if we care, hopefully, again, we can cultivate an environment where people care. I was, when I was putting one of my matches together with, name dropping now, Ophidian, the Cobra.
Well, you're obviously,
Yes.
There is a character who looks incredibly like who is named Dr. Felix Kampfner, PhD, who is the XSW World Champion.
Yeah.
He's defended against some real competition.
Yeah. Do you want me to rattle off the
You
list
rattle off
again?
Ophidian, from Chikara's, I think that's the biggest name.
You got Shawn Michaels, who else? Crackers the Luchador Parrot, who won the title up against. Killed his son in the process. You were at that show, right?
I was not.
No. Oh, man. Yeah, he had his son sitting ringside, which was an egg on a paper towel.
And again, everyone can catch up on powerbomb.tv.
We're catching up ourselves and stuff like that, but yes, you can try. You can talk to me and I will sit you down for 7 hours and explain everything that's happened on the show. Roy G. Biv, the Rainbow Bringing the Pain Bro.
RG.
Who else? Our cameraman Drew, I beat. Fuck you, man. All right. Sucks.
I believe you beat King Haiku.
King Haiku.
Master of 575 Live.
Yes, 575 Live. Yeah. He's the poet laureate with the poet laureate. Is that? I don't know if we ever got that one off the ground.
But you have a big show coming up. So the next one is called The Forever Game.
Yeah.
November 9th, Pit Loft, 10:30.
Yeah.
What is The Forever Game?
It's a stupid decision I made. It is a wildly ambitious thing that we're doing way too soon after starting a show. We've only been around for a year, but we're going to try to do a Royal Rumble, guys. Okay, sir. Only 15 people. It's not that big of a deal, but so that's a big headache. A lot of spreadsheets going out about that. Basically, and that I rattled off the fact that I'm the owner and I'm the champion and all that. Yeah, I am a kid playing in a sandbox, essentially.
Yeah. Do you think Vince McMahon has a spreadsheet for the Royal Rumble?
No. I think that's all Freebird and Patterson.
But they have a spreadsheet.
I think he has a Mac 2E in his office.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So it's basically just like, this is, it's me playing with action figures, but thankfully like friends and talented people that I get to know. It's honestly just truly, you've both been there. It's so fucking fun. It's like no other show.
Incredibly fun. If you enjoy wrestling, there's almost nothing more fun. And the crowd really sort of takes its role as the crowd very seriously, and that makes a lot of fun.
Wrestling fans just love chanting.
Exactly.
And if you don't love wrestling, but you love chanting, you should see XSW.
We used to start each show with somebody coming out of character and basically being like, what you're about to see, you're about to be teleported to a wrestling show, and so you cheer and you boo. We did that for like the first 5 or 6 shows, and eventually we just started realizing they don't need it. People are ready to do that, they just don't get to do it at other shows. And so as soon as we give them permission to, tacit or otherwise, they fucking take it, and it's so fun.
It's an amazing show. You should go see it. Go check it out on powerbomb.tv. Go check it out at the Pit Loft once every month. If you don't go November 9th, there'll be so many more shows.
7th, January 25th. I don't know February.
Other ones.
Where's the Twitter handle on Facebook?
At Extremely Serious on Twitter, and then Extremely Serious Wrestling on Instagram. The important thing you need to understand is there's no E at the beginning of the word extreme.
XSW.
XSW.
Very important.
There's a secret pun in there that I think does a lot of the carries a lot of the exhibit. No, good God. What's the word? I can't think of the word. I'm blanking. This is because we're wrapping up, and I'm fucking up here, guys.
Yeah.
It's still a great show.
I'm very disappointed.
What the fuck? Not exhibition. That's wrestling.
Exhibition. Extreme.
Alliteration.
No, when you're like trying to explain backstory in a plot, in like a book.
Exposition.
Does this guy win the raffle now that he got it right? Is that?
Yeah.
He's good. If you want, we're gonna give away a copy of Nitro, but if you want a copy for getting exposition,
He gets it for exposition.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I don't even remember why I wanted to say that. Forget everything. Don't come to my show. I'm sorry.
But still come to the show. Just don't.
Yeah.
Well, future millionaire and overbearing boss.
Mitch Fesh. One last thing. Sorry. One thing. We all have our idea of what Vince McMahon is.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've started this venture, I'm like, oh, I totally get it. That's 100% what I would be if I had any money at all. I totally empathize with Vince McMahon, and that's what I will be.
So you too would bring XSW to Saudi Arabia for $12
Oh,
million?
No, maybe.
Do you think the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia would enjoy Shawn from Michaels?
Definitely.
Yeah, probably, right?
Definitely.
That was
Seems like a
Vince's
guy with a sense
backup
of humor.
plan.
Yeah.
That was Vince's backup plan.
Definitely. Oh, and I think Vince would fucking love our shows too. I'm gonna say that as well. I think again, Freebird and Patterson are bringing him down from being me.
Well, maybe Vince hasn't seen it, but you should go see it. Extremely Serious Wrestling at the Pit, November 9th. Go check it out. Mitch Fesh, everyone.